Welcome. If you're just starting out with coding, you definitely know that moment of frustration when your perfectly planned program just, well, it breaks. Today, we're going to turn that frustration into a superpower. We'll take those confusing Python errors and transform them from roadblocks into helpful clues on your journey to becoming a confident programmer. Okay, let's dive right in.
So you've written your first few lines of Python. You're feeling pretty good, you're excited, you hit that run button, expecting magic to happen, and instead, you get this. A big red wall of text. It can feel super intimidating, right? Maybe even like the computer is yelling at you for getting something wrong, but I promise you, it's not an accusation. It's actually a map, a set of clues that Python is giving you to help solve the mystery. So let's talk about your first broken program. The number one rule, don't panic. That error report you're looking at is called a traceback, and it's basically Python's way of helping you play detective. Instead of just saying it's broken, Python shows you the exact path it took before it hit a snag. Let's learn how to read it. And this is absolutely the crucial point. Don't just close the window in frustration. Learning to read the traceback is one of the most important, most empowering skills you can develop. It's the difference between guessing where the problem is and knowing exactly where it is. Now what's great is that we can break down that scary wall of text into three simple, manageable parts. First up, Python points you to the exact file and the exact line number where the error happened, so no more hunting around. Then, it shows you the specific line of code that caused all the trouble. And finally, it gives you the error name. This is the big clue that tells you what kind of mistake you're actually looking for.
In our example, Python gave us a name error. You are going to see this one a lot. And you know what? That's completely okay. It's probably the most common error for beginners, and it almost always comes down to one of a few simple, really easy to fix mistakes. Think of this as your detective's checklist for any name error. First, and this is the most common one, check for misspellings. In our code, we created a variable called message, but then we tried to print message. Just one letter off, but that's everything to a computer. Second, make sure you actually created the variable before you tried to use it. And third, always remember that Python is case sensitive. A variable named name with a capital N is a totally different thing than name with a lowercase n.
And this quote just brilliantly illustrates the mindset we're going for. Seeing an error isn't a sign that you failed. It's just a totally normal part of programming. The goal isn't to never make mistakes, it's to get really, really good at finding and fixing them.
All right, so now that we know how to read errors and we're not afraid of them, let's start building with one of Python's most fundamental tools. A lot of the time, the data we work with is just text. And to handle text, whether it's a name, a sentence, or whatever, we need to understand a data type called a string. It's really that simple. A string is just text. It could be a single letter, a word, a whole sentence, even a paragraph. As long as you wrap it in quotes, Python knows exactly what to do with it. It knows to treat it as a string. And here's something pretty cool about Python. It's flexible. You can use either double quotes or single quotes to create your strings. As far as Python is concerned, the two you see here are exactly the same. But why? Why would we need both options? Well, this dual system actually has a very practical purpose. By wrapping your whole string in double quotes, you can easily include single quotes, like an apostrophe, right inside it, and Python doesn't get confused at all. It just works. But check out what happens if you try to use single quotes to wrap a string that also contains a single quote. The part of Python that reads your code sees the first single quote and starts reading. Then it hits the apostrophe in Python's, and it thinks, okay, the string's over. It gets confused by everything after that, so it throws a syntax error. Just knowing this one little rule is going to save you so much time later on.
Okay, let's bring it all together. What are the key things to remember from this explainer as you keep going on your coding journey?
First, and this is the most important one, tracebacks are your friends. They are your guide to fixing code, not a criticism of it. Second, the details matter. Programming is precise, so little things like spelling and capitalization are absolutely critical. And finally, you're now equipped with a fundamental building block for handling text in Python, strings.
You've taken a massive step forward today. You've gone from just writing code to actually understanding how to diagnose and fix it when it breaks. That is a huge, huge part of being a programmer. So go ahead, try things out, make some errors, and see what you can build. The possibilities are wide open.